Hello and good day, everyone. Welcome to COM1110 for English communication skills. Firstly, I would like to apologize for not being able to be with you guys. I'm in the midst of a conference right now, so that explains why we have to do this online class. But I'm really am excited to see you guys actually. So we're gonna see each other next week. But what I want y'all to do today is that I want you to listen to this recording, and we're gonna touch a few, introduction to this course basically. And also, I'm gonna start with our first topic of the week, and then next week, oh no, after we're done with this lecture, I want you to go on your blackboard, and I want you to answer a couple of questions based on the topic that we discussed today. Okay? Um, um, so basically, I will owe you guys, I'm owing you guys another 1 more hour, which we will have a replacement class next week. So don't worry about your classes and things like that. Okay? Right. Welcome to Com10. This is an English communication skills. I was told that you guys are engineering students, so welcome. I'm very excited because this is my first time teaching engineering students. Okay? My name is Wanda Farah Wanchamsuddin. Obviously, it's very long, so you can just call me Miss Farah. Right. On your blackboard, by right, I have uploaded a course specification. What's important about course specifications is that it allows you to tell you, like explicitly tell you, the assessments and every single thing that you have to know about this course. So it's very important for you to go online, click on our class, which is COM1110, go into content, and then click there is this like course structure. But I've only uploaded the course specifications, and I have not uploaded the course structure yet because I still need some approval from the management before I upload the course structure. So, okay, don't worry about it. Now, what we're going to do today is that number one, I'm going to tell y'all how to contact me, and then I'm going to discuss about the assessment. In particular, how can you pass or get A in this course? We're not going to do this today because obviously this is a virtual class and we're not being able to interact with your friends. But I promise we're going to do this in your class next week, and then we're going to start with our first topic for today, which is parts of speech. Okay. Welcome to the August 2019 session. Semester is a long semester. It's going to be chaotic, it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be messy as well. So throughout this course, I want you all to be very um, aware about all of your assessments, which we will talk about it in the next slide. First of all, this is my name and this is my email address. It's very important for you to note on my email because whenever that you miss out your assessment or test, you need to email me directly, like right after you do not do it. Okay, it's very important because a lot of students keep on asking me, Miss, what's your email address? And I have written down, I have put all my email address and all of my contact details in the first slide of the class and also in your blackboard as well. My office is a level 3 Kolan office, and it's very near to the bridge. Whenever you want to schedule an appointment with me, it's very important for you to email me first so that you know that I'm available at the time, so that you know that I don't have class. You have to come to me. Before that, you have to email me, and then I will schedule you a time for an appointment. Then, once you come or once you arrive at my office in level 3, you have to go to the reception and call this number 2541, and then I will come to you. Okay. So what is English communication skills? English communication skill, what we want to do in this course is that we want to develop your ability in writing formal letters, in particular email, memos, and report, because these are important things that need you or to prepare you for your workforce before you go out for work. And even before you start working and stuff, you need to be able to write good emails to apply for jobs. So basically, that is what we are aiming to prepare you all for. And we also want to emphasize on using the correct format and language in business writing. So basically, we've been learning English for the longest time. we've been, I don't know, learning English since it's compulsory for us to learn English since we are standard one, right? So um, but the kind of formal language that you need in a formal setting, that is what we're trying to brush up in this course, basically. We want you all to be able to express your idea logically and coherently in both oral and also written work. As we move on in our class today, I'm going to tell you how you guys will be evaluated in both writing and also presentation skills. Okay. Right. Basically, the syllabus of this course include parts of speech, which we will be covering today. And as I mentioned, we're going to learn a bit of like writing. We're going to learn more report. So report here is very important because report will be part of your assignment. And email. How to write good formal email is what we are going to learn as well in this course. And verb tenses, subject, verb review. So some of these things are basically the foundation or the basic information of English language. Am I right? So these are the things that perhaps you have learned in school before, but we're still gonna focus on it, or we're gonna just basically like recapping back to you guys about parts of speech, subject, verb agreement, verb tenses. So there could be a possibility that actually you've learned all of these things in school, but we're just basically gonna, recap you guys back on these things because it's very important and it's like the basic grammar of English. When you want to write a good English writing, you also need certain things such as topic sentence and also thesis statement. So before we move into English writing, I'm just going to introduce you guys to topic sentence and thesis statement, which are crucial. But y'all don't have to worry about all of these things today. It's going to be a lot of headache. But these are just some of the things, like an introduction to, like a heads up on what you guys will be learning in this course. Okay. Right. For this course, you have two things here. You have face-to-face and also online class. Mm, every week, you would have to go to two separate lectures. The first lecture will be 1 hour, and the second lecture are 2 hours. And as you know, this week I'm not able to attend both lectures, which is unfortunate because I'm right here right now. I'm in the middle of a conference and I ran just to do this online class with you guys. Okay, so I owe you guys another 1 hour next week, so we're gonna do a replacement class next week. Today, for in general for this course, you have to come to lectures, two lectures per week. In total, we have 3 hours of lecture, and then we have an online task. So online task is very very important because if you do your online task, we are able to see your progress and performance in this course. So basically, if you are at the middle, how to say it? So if we're done with this whole course and you have one more mark to pass or one more mark to get an A, your online task would serve as evidence to show that you are learning in this course, and we will not hesitate to give you extra 1 mark if you do your online task. Sorry. What is scary about online tasks? We have our own learning platform. You know it. It's called Blackboard, right? So this online platform that we have, every week I will upload one online task which you have to complete. Okay. And sometimes, for example, if we come to a situation like this whereby I cannot do a face-to-face lecture, we would alternately use the Blackboard or online platform to do our class. So it's very, very important for you to go to your Blackboard and access to your online learning and, read the announcements. And it's basically online platform is the most important communication that we have between you and me. Okay. Right, let's talk about the assessment and how you will be graded for this course. So basically, we have 14 weeks, 14 weeks. So in the week 5, you're gonna have your test one. So your test one will be covering everything from week 1 to week 4, and it's 10% of your marks. And your test 2, it will be held in week 10, and it's gonna cover. Let me confirm it. Your test 2, it's going to cover everything from week 3. Sorry, from I'm going to talk about tests later on, but it's 10% of it. Okay, and then we are going to have an assignment for you. As I mentioned, in this course, we don't just want y'all to be focusing on writing, but we also want you to focus on presentation as well. So we are going to have a report writing, which is a written form, and I will provide to you the template, and you have to conduct a study, like a small scale study, and it's due in week 13. In week 14, which is the last week, you will have a point oral presentation, which will be based on your report writing. Basically, you have to present on what you have studied on, what you have submitted for your report writing. Both of these two assessments are group assessment. Test 1 and Test 2, obviously, are individual assessment. Lastly, you will have these are course marks, yeah. Lastly, you're gonna have your reflective essay. Reflective essay, it's due in week 12. It's very easy. I will provide to you some questions just to sort of like guide you guys on how to do a good reflective essay. And I promise that I'm gonna sort of like have a special class just to talk about reflective essay, just so that you can earn the high, the best mark that you can ever get for a reflective essay. Your reflective essay is 10%. This course will be having a final exam, and your final exam will be 40%. Okay, your final exam, we're gonna announce we are going to announce the dates and time for your final exam, perhaps in week 15 or so. Okay, so if you total these up, it should be 100%. These, this is the grading list. Okay, if you're aiming to pass or fail, so here in our college it's very strict. So if your mark is below 49, it's considered fail. You have to get more than 49, sorry, 50 and above to get to pass. Right. What do I expect y'all to do in order for you to get good grades in this course? So in order for you to get good grades in this course, I want you to complete all assessment before the last week, which is week 14. So the table that I showed you guys earlier, this one. So if you happen to see that you are missing out some of these things, okay, you have to email to me and let me know that you have not done your test one. You have not submitted your report writing. You have not submitted your reflective essay. You have to tell me every single thing before week 14. It's very, very important because I need to key in your marks and everything else as early as week 15. So if you do not do any of these assessments, please let me know. Okay. Next, I need to remind you that your attendance, in order for you to avoid barring, you need to attend your classes at least 80% of it. Okay. If you want to skip class, or you have anything urgent, or you want to go for a travel, whatever it is, make sure that you go to your faculty and ask for an official leave, and ask for them like a leave form, and apply your leave formally so that you will not have problem with your attendance. Okay. Next is, as I mentioned, online tasks. It's very important for your grades. Stay active online and offline. Final exam is compulsory. I want you to be very comfortable with your classmates, and please help each other. Because this is an English class, I am not a native speaker. I learned English as my second language, so I'm not perfect in terms of grammar and stuff. But so that's why for me it's very important for you to allow mistakes to happen. So if we mispronounce some things, which is normal because we are human beings, we do mistakes, and that is why I want to focus on having a safe environment for us to allow mistakes to happen. Right. I also want to remind you guys to have fun and let your hair down a little bit and relax. Bring those minds to class like this guy. Okay, so just now I talked about online tasks. So online tasks is very important because I am able to see all of your progress online. So as you can see here, these are your names, okay? So I can see how much interaction that you have made online. So if I were to click on specific names, any of these names, okay, I'm able to see your contribution to the class, if you are contributing, when was the last time you logged into your platform, and all these things are these are important things that I'm able to see. So that's why I say you have to be very active online and also offline, okay, to get extra marks basically. Right, let's move on to our first topic for today. Let me just drink. Alright, let's talk about parts of speech today. Right, now I want you to take a look at these words. So we have a few words here. We have Nilai, we have sleepy, we have I. Few, it's in, oh my god, hurriedly, happily, into, so, study, easy, at, or sleep. Can you all try to pause this video, try to categorize or try to put these into 8 different groups? Can you try to do it? Okay. So basically, in English, okay, in English, we have different parts of speech. If you were to take a book in front of you and you have a list of words, or you would have this whole bunch of writings in English, every single word would contribute or can be categorized into different parts of speech. The first part of speech would be noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjectives, conjunction, preposition, and interjection. So I'm pretty confident, pretty sure that you guys have learned basic knowledge about noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, conjunction, preposition, and interjection. We have learned these in school, and basically this class will just serve as a recap session for you guys. Just a couple of things to, remind you guys again about these parts of speech, yeah? So what is part of speech? Part of speech is a name given to a word based on its job in a sentence. So if you were to have a word, for example here, name, so I can know that this is actually a noun, a name. So what's magic about language is that if you know the structure of the language, you are able to guess what kind of job does it serve in the sentence. I know it's a little bit weird definition here, but we're going to talk about it later on with some examples, and I hope you can understand better. Right here, if we look to the definition of noun itself, noun is the name of a person, place, thing, or idea. For example, Daniel, London, table, hope. So one thing about noun is that you have to know it could be a lot of things. It could be a proper noun. It could be like proper noun is when you capitalize the noun. For example, Daniel, London. Okay, but table here is not a proper noun because it's not capitalized. It's just things basically. It's not specialized to some person, like especially for married. Here is a noun, but this is basically what you need to know. And now you also need to know that two different types. We have countable and uncountable. Okay, countable nouns are things that can be counted, like books, tables, so forth. But uncountable nouns could be water, drinks, what else? Things that we cannot count. I'm pretty sure you've learned this in school before. Moving on to pronoun. Pronoun is used in place of a noun or a noun phrase to avoid repetition. Very often it's very linked to a noun. So basically noun is a substitution for a noun, which is thing, person, or idea. So sometimes you want to avoid repetition in your sentence. So that's why you use certain words which are pronouns to substitute the noun. I want her to dance with me. So perhaps a sentence before this, I know who is her. It could be her mother. It could be my mother. It could be it could be Camila Cabello. So I would have a context to know who her is in the sentence. Right. The third category would be adjective. Adjective basically describes or modifies or give more information about the noun or pronoun. So here, the noun that we're talking about is this girl. So basically, this little is an adjective that describes about the girl. Okay. So here we have another noun. Here it's hat. Pink here is an adjective because it's describing the hat, which is pink. Okay. So the fourth category would be verb. Verb is an action or state of being. Examples of verb could be go, speak, eat, live, or eat. So verb is very complex because you have verb could be more than one word. I am listening. I listen. She listens. So that is why we are going to have another class or another section or curriculum or class in verb tenses because we will go into details about verb tenses. What's unique about verb is that verb indicates time. So it shows to you when it's done. Is it in present, in past, or in future? That is why verb is so complex. And we're going to talk about verb later on throughout this course. Like the fifth part of speech is adverb. Adverb modifies verb, adjective, or another adverb. So one of the common things that perhaps you would know if it's a verb because of the word ly at the end of some words, like slowly. Okay, because it is explaining a condition about eating the lunch. I ate my lunch quickly. Yeah. Preposition is when you want to show a relationship of noun or pronoun to another word. For example, at, on, in, from, with, and about. So I left my keys on the table for you. Okay, so preposition can be a little bit tricky for a second language learners because you need some prior knowledge, particularly in your first language, to understand or to know. So basically, these are the words that you have to be able to translate from your first language, and it's very important. And sometimes I don't know how to teach this because this is something that you gain throughout exercises. Okay, and you have to be able to understand what is at is used in your first language. That is a good tips for you to score in preposition. Okay. Um, the next category will be conjunction. Conjunction is a word that you want to do or you want to use when you want to join two words or ideas or phrases together and to show the connection between these two things. For example, I was hot and tired, but I still finish it. So basically, here you're trying to combine a few idea here. So I was telling you that I was very tired. I was hot and tired. Here, I'm describing to you my condition. I'm hot and tired. So two things here. And another thing here is I'm trying to combine the idea that I was hot and tired, but contradiction here. But despite being hot and tired, I still finish it. Okay, so I'm trying to combine a couple of ideas in this one single sentence itself. And lastly, we have interjection. Interjection is a word or phrase to express a strong emotion, and it's often a short exclamation. So what's interesting about interjection is sometimes you're not able to know what it means really, but you will know when to use it. For example, like ouch. You know that you use ouch when you sort of like when you are in pain, right? So these are some sort of like words that it's really hard to describe, but you will know when to use it. And usually these words comes with it an exclamation mark. Ouch, hey, oh, watch out. So wow, I passed my exam, English exam. So it's like an emotion. Okay. So these are the parts of speech that you have to memorize or you have to understand for this course. Okay. Okay, these are, we're going to details first. Every sentence in English must have a verb, only verbs that have tenses, because only only verb indicates time. That is why it's very, very important. And as I mentioned, we're going to talk more about verb tenses later on in this course, throughout this course, because sometimes, I often have students asking me, Miss, what's the difference between, um, have eaten or have ate? So those words or those tenses or those verbs are used differently, but sometimes people often get confused. Alright, noun is a noun. So these are basically some sort of like a recapping back to what I have mentioned earlier. So just now I talk about proper noun and common noun. Here we have so these words in red are noun because it's showing a person, place, animal, thing, feeling, or idea. Sarah is a proper noun, as I mentioned, because it's starting with a capitalized S. New Zealand itself is also a proper noun. But here, vacation, family, and year are common nouns. Okay? So pronouns are words that replaces a noun. Sure. As I mentioned, why do we use pronoun? Is because we want to avoid repetition. Let's take a look at this example here. Jungkook is at movies with Jungkook's girlfriend. Jungkook really enjoys spending time with Jungkook's girlfriend. Basically, I'm repeating Jungkook's name and also girlfriend's, the word girlfriend. So how would you change this to avoid repetition? Let's take a look. Jungkook is at the movies with who? His girlfriend. So basically, the word Jungkook here is being replaced with the word his girlfriend. He, yet again, to avoid repetition of Jungkook, really enjoys spending time with who? His girlfriend or her. Okay. Right. Next, adjectives gives more information about noun or pronoun. Da da da. So one thing that's very unique, if you know linguistics, English linguistics in general, you can guess what type of part of speech a word is because of the structure or the position of the word in the sentence. So adjective typically comes before a noun or after a stative verb. For example, here, the diligent student completed her assignment early. So in the sentence, one noun could be student. So do you know the word before is a an adjective because diligent here is describing a student. So if you see a, an, a noun there, more likely the word before that describe it is an adjective. Adjectives can be or can come after a stative verb. For example, here the stative verb here is can be. Here, difficult is an adjective because it comes after can be, which is a stative verb. Okay, right. Next, adverb. Adverb, as I mentioned just now, gives information about the verb, adjectives, and adverb. So here, um, yesterday itself is an adverb because it gives you more information when we walked. Okay, so here basically we are, having said to describe this action of walking. Yesterday, when did it happen? Yesterday. So yesterday here is an adverb. Somewhat slowly is also an adverb because it's describing this word walked. Okay, somewhat slowly. Okay, these two are also adjective. Very beautiful garden is an adverb that describes the word very beautiful. Here it's describing beautiful. It's not just beautiful garden, it's very beautiful. Okay, do you get it? Right. Moving on is conjunction. Conjunction is a word that joins two clauses. There are two types of conjunctions. We have coordinating conjunction, for and nor, but, or yet so, or subordinate conjunction, because, although, when. So these two are different because we're going to learn about the types of sentences in future where you should know the difference between coordinating conjunction and also subordinating conjunction. But in this class, I just want you guys to be able to understand, what words is for coordinating or subordinating. I just want you guys to memorize these four types of conjunctions. Okay, so coordinating conjunctions are for and more, but, for, yet so, and subordinate conjunctions are with, like, because, although, and when. We will talk about these two types of conjunctions in future when we talk about different types of sentences. Okay, right, as I mentioned, when we talk about preposition, it comes before a noun or noun phrase and it links to a part of the sentence. Okay, so as I mentioned, preposition can be a little bit tricky and it's very advisable for you to be able to translate or understand the preposition by reflecting back on your first language. Okay, so if your first language is Chinese, you should be able to know what, on, at, by, as, for as, in addition, as a result of, in your first language, so that you know what it means in your first language. Okay, that's basically it. Next, as I mentioned, interjection is a word that is used to convey emotion or feeling. Words like you, hello, hooray, well. So those words usually comes with an exclamation mark after it. Okay, that is when you know it's an interjection. Okay, so now what I want you to do is that, okay, we have basically done with this class today. I've talked to you about parts of speech. Basically, what I want you to do now is that using this picture as a reference, I want you to now go online on Blackboard and I want you to answer a simple quiz about parts of speech. And it's due on Monday, 2nd of September 2018. For your online task as well, I want you to introduce yourself in the discussion board. And this one is due on Sunday, 1st of September 2019, 11:59 p.m. Okay, so I'm going to check your what you have done in both. So basically, if you want your attendance to be taken today, you have to listen to this lecture and answer this quiz. So even if you have listened to my lecture now, this one, but you have not done your part of speech quiz, I'm still not going to take your attendance because I do not know if you have watched this or not. Okay. So basically, after this, you have to answer this online quiz. I'm going to check your attendance after Monday. So on Tuesday, I will see when and who have done part of speech. If you have done this online quiz, then only I will take your attendance. Okay, right? That's all for our class today. Thank you so much. I apologize for the sudden notice of not having class this week. I hope you guys have a good week, and I'll see you guys next week. Yeah, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.